what do we get? Crimson Phoenix +1. Alright, okay, not too bad. Yeah, so we're done with Stone Slasher. Let's see if there's anything else. No, that's the only thing? Yeah.
This one's pretty tough.
This one's for real.
Yeah, and there was also a hint with what Raven said in the conversation that it would have been easier on him if he had just died. So, kind of hints as to what's going on with Raven. Which we'll be finding out. This is definitely more than meets the eye when it comes to him.
This? Nah, this isn't scary.
Your legs are shaking.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, Patty got taunt 2. Okay, that was just the weapon. I believe this is... Yeah, this is the city that they were talking about earlier.
This is a Critian city?
More like the remains of one.
There might be some treasure around here.
What do you think Judith would come here for?
Suppose it wouldn't make much sense to say she was feeling homesick.
The hunting blades!
Judith!
There she is.
You!
Damn you! Go inform Tyson and Nan.
Hey! Nobody lays a hand on one of our own. If she's broken our laws, we'll settle this amongst ourselves. Now get out of here.
We're only trying to follow a monster we're hunting.
This doesn't involve you.
Okay, this is getting us nowhere. Let me at him!
Go get him, Rita.
You're right. It's just a waste of time trying to talk sense to people like this.
Anyone who interrupts our conversation is gonna be taking a long nap.
Go to sleep.
Leave. Now. Or do you really want to do this?
Yuri putting a serious
Judith.
face on.
You followed me here.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. We're here to settle things for the sake of the guild.
Judith, tell us everything you know. Why you destroyed the Blastia. About the Apatheia and the Entelikeia. Their relationship to Pharaoh. All of it.
And even though you're one of us, your answers will decide your fate.
Punish the unjust, was it? Honestly, I don't know if that's really a good thing or not. You've already come this far. I suppose there's no going back now. Come.
Yuri, what did you mean about Judy's fate?
If there's one thing the Dawn's last moments taught me, it's that I've been too soft. If a part is infected, you cut it off before it infects the whole. Even if it's a comrade, an Entelikeia, or a friend.
You mean even if it's Flynn or Pharaoh?
Yeah. It's the path I've chosen for myself.
Definitely intense. Yeah, the Dawn's words definitely struck a chord with Yuri. I wouldn't really call him soft throughout the game, or at least his own story, but yeah, it was definitely a big change for him. Because at this point, we actually get to see that change with Yuri, is that he finally, starting going down his own path. He finally has an answer to the question that he's been asking his entire life. It's like, hey, what do I do? And there we go. Alright, hunting blades again?
The hunting blades again?
We didn't just cross paths this time. We're after the same thing.
Oh yeah.
We just might have to fight.
If it does come to that, you guys don't have to worry about me. But we can't keep Judith waiting. Let's go!
Carol,
Our boy's growing up.
Yeah,
isn't there some way we can avoid fighting the hunting blades?
I hope so. But it's pretty much up to them.
Yup.
Alright, let's see if there's anything over here. Rubble spreads as far as the eye can see. From the looks of it, Lance was once joined up to all the way over there. Yeah, so just for looks. I think I just head to the right. Haha, chest. What do we got? Grand Scepter for Estelle. Oh, okay. Some more hunting blades. Oh, he got angry. Yeah, just enough. Nice. Let's see. Suppose we could go. Yeah, there we go. I want that chest.
I won't lose!
Yeah. Definitely need those bottles.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's make some curry.
Yeah, I feel good.
Alright, I think that was one of them. Also got a heal here. Poison bottle. Okay, so you still have to get reflect. Ah, weapon for Raven. Good timing too, because we can't actually equip it. Alright. Yeah. Ah. Still got me.
Prepare to meet your doom.
Alright, let's go. Down. There we go.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, another tribal guard. Judy's getting all the weapons. Critian Town.
I heard stories of a Critian town, but I never knew where it was.
Me too. Didn't expect it to be on Mount Temza.
They must really value their privacy to build a whole town on a mountain.
Is there something they don't like doing in front of other folk?
Cridians are a secretive lot, to be sure.
I think the lore with them is it's kind of equivalent to the elves, in our own lore and whatnot. They're a very long-lived race. They are pretty private. They tend to take a very passive stance when it comes to fighting and all that. I think that's what we learn about the Cridians. This was definitely one of the places that we run into where they used to be. So it's definitely one of those races that we don't encounter often. And Judy is one of them. Judy is kind of unique when it comes to the Critian because I don't believe they're into fighting. I think she has also talked about that too, that she doesn't really like to fight, but if I must, then I have to. So, yeah, it kind of fits with her personality. And I just saw that chest. Got another chest. Yeah. What we got? Ugh, mimic.
Get ready. I'm taking you down.
Should we Dragon Sword!
Come on. Yeah, for the most part. Does have its pros and cons. I mean, you can get everything done, but kind of... You tend to become very disconnected. If that makes sense. Ooh, a lot of money. A limit bottle. I couldn't turn around fast enough. Yeah, you tend to become very disconnected if you stay away from everything. Yeah, very similar to a lot of... Because we have the Elven race from, you know, many different stories. We have the Viera from Final Fantasy that are pretty similar, staying very private. Who else? We have the Soren from Legend of Legaia that are pretty similar to that. So yeah, definitely a lot of different species that follow the same thing. But with that, even though you're like very private and whatnot and stick to your own clan or whatever, definitely become disconnected with everything else. So it can be an issue if you got people that, you know, want to meet up with you. Alright, sentimental landscape.
The hole in this mountain is like the hole in my heart. How my chest aches.
Getting all sentimental on us, old man?
Nah, it's just memories of the war. I'd appreciate it if we didn't spend too much time here.
Stop being such a coward.
Oh, that hurts, Rita.
The only way to get past a bad memory is to embrace it.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
Not really. I was just generalizing. Anyway, you want to hurry, right? Then let's go.
Our little genius mage is more mature than she looks.
Wow, that was a really big hint to Raven's backstory. Yeah, we'll be coming back later for that, though. That was a really big hint. Alright, I'm gonna grab this chest. And another travel guard. Wow, that's the third one so far. Is Judy... No, she's just following. Okay, so she's not in that party just quite yet. Save point. Lost. Can't get that one yet. Alright, come here, Hunting Blade. Alright, guess we're ignoring you. Red lavender. Okay. I suppose I can use these. Just give it to Yuri. Right into the cutscene.
So, you are aware that this place was the ground on which the Great War was fought?
Yep.
Yeah, we heard from the old man here.
The Great War was sparked by a type of Blastia.
What?
This was not a Blastia that had been excavated. It had been constructed in the city of Temza using a new type of technology. The Hermes Blastia.
Hermes Blastia? I've never heard of it. And if you say it was newly built...
I didn't think you could make a new Blastia.
The Hermes models were even more effective at converting air into energy. They were intended to revolutionize the technology of Blastia.
But something went wrong.
The Blastia using these Hermes-type formulas required massive quantities of air. The Airkrina began producing abnormal amounts of air in order to compensate.
That would mean the end, not just of humanity, but all life on this planet.
Yeah, because we've seen a couple of instances with the air Krene, because we saw the one that was underground made the water pretty much reacting to us. And there was the one in the forest too that was also doing the same thing.
Just like we saw at Cave Mock and the Wizened of Kados. Wouldn't like to see that happen everywhere.
Hey, I just said that.
The Entelekea realized the dangers of the Hermes Blastia before the humans. And they moved to destroy them.
Which created a conflict that grew until it eventually became the Great War.
So then the Entelekea fought against the humans to help the planet?
But why didn't they tell the humans how dangerous those Blastia were?
Neither side probably cared much if the other brought itself to ruin. There's never been any love lost between humans and Entelekea. Probably didn't talk much.
Or maybe there was another reason. But what does any of this have to do with you, Judy?
Temza fell to the flames of war, and the technology of the Hermes Blastia was believed lost.
Wait, you mean there are still Hermes models in operation?
Maybe.
Yes, at Rago's mansion, Amit Hill, Gosferost, not to mention.
The Ceres Blastia on the Fiertia.
That new Ceres Blastia must have been a Hermes Blastia.
So then you've been destroying the Blastia in place of the Entelekea. You could have mentioned that. Why didn't you say something? Were you gonna save the world all on your own? Are you stupid?
What was that?
Baul!
No. Hunting blades again.
Nan!
It looks like we found our mark.
You will not pass. You're a person, aren't you? How can you defend a monster?
Didn't you get the news? I said nobody lays a hand on one of our own.
We won't allow that. Not even from you, Nan.
We were having a conversation over here. Butt out!
I can't believe these guys. Such scallywags.
I don't usually like to get my clothes dirty, but...
Everyone, have the hunting blades added people to their list of targets?
Nobody who associates with monsters can rightly call themselves a person.
Carol, have you forgotten the credo of the hunting blades? Step aside.
Monsters are evil, and the hunting blades pursue that evil. But the Entelekea aren't evil. They were fighting to save the world.
Don't let them fool you with that credo nonsense. They're on a job. They're here for the Apatheia.
It seems you won't listen to reason. If you have no intention of moving...
You leave us no choice.
Oh, there we go. Judy joined the party. Not in my party. Alright, let's take Patty out. I suppose that'll be fine. Oh, Carol's under Carol's the other one that's not even level 30 yet. Oh, Carol. Alright. Which is fine. I usually don't use Carol that much.
Hunting blades. He's not a monster. He's Judith.
I don't remember the secret mission in this one.
I will protect Baul, even if it costs me my life.
It's pretty stupid to think anything out of the ordinary is automatically evil.
Aiding monsters is punishable by death!
But Baul's different. He wouldn't just go around hurting people for no reason.
What are you talking about? Of course he would.
You're worse than monsters. They just got instinct. You got brains. So what's your excuse?
Shut up! We hunting blades will not back down!
So I guess we just gotta fight this out.
Don't blame me for what happens.
Just gotta watch out for his over. Hey, the Mystic Arts. Hang on. He should be. Okay, took a little bit of damage. Yeah. I'll definitely go for that. Oh, there we go. I think I just got it.
Now you've gone and done it.
Sweet. Wonder what it was. Just knock him down after using Mystic. Let's attack man here. Get back here. Come on. Yep. Man, she likes to move around a lot. Come on, sit still. There we go. Hands down. There we go. Tyson's down too. Yeah, I guess I just knocked him down after him using the Mystic
You don't
Art.
show mercy to your enemies.
I will protect Baiul.
Wait, we get a special flag from that?
I did it! I just keep getting stronger!
Special flag is one of the items where we could change who we play as when we're roaming
Nan,
around.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, party leaders. I think it's the... Yeah, I think it's as we could just roam around. There's more over there. Is there a chest up there? Probably take a look. I want to get the other one so I can actually get that. Don't get angry. Haha. Ever blue for Rita. Light magic bonus. Let's see, 490, 579. I guess I'm going with the ribbon first. Poor hitbox. Can't even hit them.
This one's strong.
Do we even have a chance?
Yeah, we'll be fine. Come on. There we go. Alright, looks like there is a chest. Go for the stun here so I can just... Very tiny corridor, so maybe we'll have it out anyway.
This is the
There we go. Yeah, take out... Oh,
What's the
there we go.
secret
That
of your
works.
strength?
I don't know. Maybe I just have fun fighting.
Cool! I'll do that too!
Oh, I got some Grimoire pages. That's good. Alright, what do we get? Feather coat. Judy and Patty. Judy already has it, so I think I could probably just give it to Patty. Yeah, best one so far. Alright, so... Oh, and that's a good one too, because it has combo plus. Yeah, she's gonna be fine for now. Yeah, I'll keep that weapon on her, because combo plus is really good. Alright, so now we gotta check on Baul. I kinda want to stun it so I can run by it. Come on, go away. Give me the other stun. There we go.
What's happening?
Baul is trying to evolve as an Intelakea.
It looks like he's suffering.
Baul, come on!
You can do it!
No!
I want to heal your wounds, but there's nothing I can do. My power is poison to you, isn't it?
Healing wounds isn't your power, Estelle.
What do you mean?
Don't you remember Bellius's words?
Power corrupts, but you are different. Never lose that kindness, the compassion you so readily show to others.
My compassion for others.
Your thoughts are reaching Baul. I'm sure of it.
All we can do now is hope for the best.
That Baul's a
Well
Pokemon.
now.
Amazing.
I knew you could do it.
Your partner seems like he's gonna be just fine.
Yes. Thank you all for helping to protect him. This is something I couldn't have done alone.
You're one of us. Of course we'd help.
That's right.
Yeah, Baul turned into Whale Lord.
Didn't I tell you? You got through to him. You make it through to Pharaoh as well. Will you be going to meet him?
That's up to Estelle to decide.
I'll go. It's been the purpose of my journey after all.
Are you sure? What if you end up getting killed?
Even still, I've got to stand firm on this.
It won't be too long before the hunting blades send reinforcements. How about a change in scenery before they show up and spoil the party?
There's only one path down from here, though. We're bound to run into them.
The skies are wide open above us.
Have you lost your mind?
Get on. We'll fly as far as the Fiertia. We can finish talking once we arrive.
Sweet. Now we have the other way of traveling.
Judy!
That's what happens when you don't take care of yourself. She's just overexhausted.
She must be exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, she just keeled over. Wasn't expecting that.
I bet she watched over Baul the entire time he was evolving. She probably didn't get much sleep. She probably had no idea when the hunting blades would attack either.
She was putting up a brave front, but she must have been near the end of her rope.
She's just dumb. She doesn't know how to express what she's feeling.
And I'm really glad we're able to help Judy out.
We can finish talking with her tomorrow. We should let her sleep now. In fact, I wouldn't mind a little shut-eye myself.
Right. Okay, what to do with Judith?
We still haven't heard Judy's side, so we can't say anything, but she sure caused the guild a major headache, breaking Blastias all on her own. There's no getting around that fact, no matter what her reasons. We have to settle this. Man, I hate waiting.
Well, it's good that we finally have a reason behind why Judy was doing the things she did. You know, essentially taking over the Entelekea's job of getting rid of the harmful Blastia. So, alright, let's talk to Carol. See what he thinks.
Are you thinking about Judy?
Yeah. I'm wondering what we should do about her.
It's true that she broke the guild's laws and betrayed us.
I always thought that a guild's strict adherence to its own laws was what kept it together. That there could be no exceptions, no lenience for those who would break the laws. But
she did what she did to save the world. Judy is destroying Blastia because she knows it's the right thing to do, even if it makes people hate her.
Yep. Judith didn't break our laws in order to do something bad. I know this now. I'm gonna talk with her about it and give it some more thought. I'll figure this out eventually.
Oh yeah?
Maybe if I become a little more decisive, Nan will listen to me too.
Never give up, Carol. Alright, let's go talk to Estelle.
Oh, Yuri.
Sorry to interrupt while you were thinking.
Ever since I took Belius's life without meaning to, I've wanted to know what it means to be the child of the full moon, so the same thing doesn't happen again. I've always thought that it was my duty to know. But after what happened to Belius...
That's how everyone is. They do something, they learn. They do something else, they learn more.
You too, Yuri?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had known everything ahead of time, I wouldn't have made any mistakes.
No.
There's only one thing I can say for sure.
What's that?
Maybe you wouldn't have made any mistakes, but it sure would have been boring.
I really wonder.
Yeah, alright, let's talk to old man Raven.
So does an old man past his prime fit into the picture at all?
Yeah, in a nursing home.
What are you whining about, old man? Why are you past your prime?
What Judith was talking about before. Hermes Blastia, was it? Blastia created with techniques that should have been lost in the war are still active. Do you know what this means?
I guess someone who survived the war brought either Blastia or those techniques back with him.
If that person was still using the Blastia even though he knew it was harmful to the Earth, someone like that would have to be quite the villain indeed.
Old man, don't tell me you...
Hey now, yours truly was nothing but an innocent youth on the straight and narrow back then.
Yeah, back then, maybe.
I wouldn't do something like that even on my worst day.
I was just trying to trick you into giving yourself away. You're a slippery one.
Son of a... When are you gonna learn some respect for your elders?
Oh, Raven. Alright, let's see what Patty has to say.
Don't fall overboard.
Oh, I'll be careful. Yuri, the world sure is big.
Yeah. Even though we're flying this high in the air, we still can't see everything.
If the world's this big, I guess it makes sense that there'd be so many things we don't know. It might not make that much of a difference whether I get my memories back or not.
Are you saying you'd be okay with not getting them back?
I'm saying that I'm not the only one who feels restless and anxious not knowing the truth. Everyone's worried about something, even you and Estelle.
You think so?
Isn't that why everyone's here? Isn't that why Judy came back?
And is that why you're here too?
I don't want to be alone.
You know, you're being pretty honest today.
I'm always honest.
Really? Well, maybe you
Well,
are.
yeah, I'd have to give that to her. She is pretty honest. Alright, I don't see Rita. I think she's in here. Ah, here we go. Here's Rita.
Is that the core from the Ceres Blastia that Judy destroyed?
Yes, it's definitely cut with a different formula than a usual core. It looks like what she said was true.
She said she wasn't too good at lying after all.
To discover that the new technique you created was bad for the world, after what must have been years of research. I can't imagine how the person who created the Hermes technique must have felt.
Well, what if it had been you?
If I found out that it hurt the Earth, I would have to do something about it. But I wouldn't destroy the Blastia like that.
What the?
Nothing. If only things weren't so complicated. I could have just blasted her into oblivion and been done with it.
Uh-huh. Repeat. Yeah, that'd be a good time to save. Yeah, so Rita is definitely also turned around too. She's starting to realize that Judy has her own way of, taking care of everything. Seriously, if there's nothing in here, why tell us there's nothing in here? Alright, I talked to everybody. I think I talked to them again. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Morning, Yuri.
Morning.
It's a beautiful morning, but even as we stand here, the air is out of balance. And our world may already be dying.
That's right.
Judy!
Well, look who's feeling better.
In the past, these slight fluctuations of the air have not negatively affected our world. There have always been beings who maintain the balance by sensing changes in the airflow.
Yeah, the Entelekea.
Beings like Pharaoh and Baul, the Entelekea.
So the Entelekea were responsible for keeping the air balanced.
For ages, the Entelekea have regulated the air. But the recent increase has been greater than they could control.
Which is being caused by the Hermes Blastia.
And which is also why you were going around taking down as many of them as you could.
Yes, that was my mission. The path I walk with Baul, to whom I owe my life.
The path you walk.
Now some would even hunt the Entelekea for Apatheia. This has made the mission of the Entelekea even more difficult.
Why is everybody so crazy about these Apatheia anyway?
I'm afraid I don't have an answer.
Well, we have seen a hint with them too.
The air an Entelekea absorbs becomes condensed within its body over time. When its life is at an end, that condensed air forms a crystal, an Apatheia. That's all I know. I imagine Pharaoh could shed more light on the subject, though.
So Apatheia are crystals of concentrated air. If that's true and the energy could be extracted from the Apatheia, It would be a source of overwhelming power, I'm sure.
Could we really do that?
I don't know.
But if that's possible, there must be tons of guys who want those things.
I bet somebody wants to use these things for the wrong reasons.
Why didn't you just tell us all this from the beginning?
Seriously, we could have avoided all this trouble if you'd just talked to us. Am I wrong?
Even if you had known, there are things not even you could have prevented.
What do you mean?
I showed up at Heliord because Baul had sensed a disturbance in the air. Where there was a disturbance, there was sure to be a Hermes Blastia. But what I found there was not a Blastia, it was a person. That had never happened before.
Yeah, it was Estelle.
So it wasn't like you were looking for Estelle in particular back at Heliord.
Yet for some reason, Baul perceived Estelle as a disturbance in the air. I had to find out why. For the sake of the path I've chosen. It was at that time that Pharaoh first appeared. He seemed to have some idea who Estelle was. My mission was to destroy all the Hermes Blastia. However, Estelle was obviously not a Blastia. I needed to make absolutely certain. I made a deal with Pharaoh, and he agreed to grant me some time.
You mean...
If it became apparent that her existence posed too great a threat, then I would kill her.
You what?
Wait! Rita!
Settle down. Obviously, Judith reached a different conclusion.
Yeah, because Estelle is with us.
All right, I get it.
Belius said you possess a heart of compassion. If you can communicate that to Pharaoh somehow, you may learn what you should do.
Hey, there's no real reason for you to fight Pharaoh anymore, right? I mean, we know the Hermes Blastia are what's causing the problem and everything. If we just make sure the Apatheia don't fall into the wrong hands...
I still want to meet Pharaoh. I want to hear what he has to tell me.
But...
Please try to understand. I have to know more about myself, and take responsibility for who I am.
All right.
Sorry, Yuri. I don't think we can decide what to do about Judith right away.
I promise not to leave again until things have been settled, as you said. I need to accept that responsibility myself.
Let's go and find Pharaoh. We'll finally be getting around to one of the first things we set out to do.
Yeah.
We can work out the rest once this is finished.
There is a rocky crag in the center of the sands of Kogor. That is where Pharaoh lives.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Baul can take us there.
Okay, let's go. This meeting's been a long time coming.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool that we kind of learn about Estelle's power a little bit there. If you were listening, that she kind of...
I can communicate with Baul.
I'll explain it after
but there
this.
are still a few things you should know.
Like what?
Baul can only land on the ground in wide, open spaces. So you won't be able to dismount on steep mountain ranges or in narrow canyons.
Yeah, we can also land on water because of the
Can't
boat.
he land on water?
Water's no good either.
Really? He looks like he'd be a good swimmer.
Yeah, he'd sink like a rock.
Huh. Who knew?
But that's why we have a ship, right?
Right. If you'd like to get down onto the ocean, let me know. Baul will set our ship down there for us.
Okay, but what should we do when we want to fly again?
Use Baul's horn to call him to you.
Bowels. That's all there is to it?
Every Intellicheia has a special region in its brain that can be used for communication with a special power Critians possess.
Huh. So we can get a hold of him by using that.
Right.
Yeah, we can call him by cell phone. Yeah. Yeah, so with Estelle, it's kind of like how she uses her powers. It pulls the air out of the atmosphere, and that's where some of it comes from. And how it is with the Intellicheia, because they're beings of concentrated air, in a sense, because we also learned about the Apatheia. Instead of healing them, because she's pulling the air, out of her surroundings to do that. She is essentially doing that in a faster form when it comes to healing the Entelokea, like we saw with Belius. So even though she wanted to heal, she was essentially stripping Belius of the air that was pretty much making the essence of him. So I think that's a pretty reasonable explanation of her powers. How she has those, we learn later on. But hey, we finally got access to Ba'ul, or the bigger version of him, and we can fly around now. Alright, so Pharaoh.
Judith, you're familiar with Pharaoh, aren't you?
Is he really as scary as he seems?
Well, let's see. Sometimes he's logical, sometimes he's emotional. He can be really scary or really kind.
Alright, that didn't help very much.
One thing's certain, his power is extraordinary, even among the Entelokea.
Here's hoping we don't wind up looking like poor old Mount Temsa the moment we meet him.
If he can do that to a mountain, there wouldn't be anything left if he turned on us.
I wish you wouldn't joke about scary things like that.
Why should we get scared before we even get there? Especially if he's that strong.
Wish I could take it as lightly as you and Yuri.
Alright, and because of this, we also get to finally travel around the map, so we do have to go here. This is where Pharaoh is. Let's see if we could find anything, because there are a couple of places that we could get to now. Let's see. Because we could just land. This is another one of those pickup points. A couple of mystic orbs. And then we could just head out. There we go. Alright, we have had a couple of these points here that we've seen. We won't be able to do much here, though. So this will be a side story. 'Cause this is important later on. What's this? Some sort of ruins, maybe? But it doesn't look like humans built anything here. Judy, do you know anything about this place? No, to me it looks like it was formed naturally, rather than made by human hands. There's not anything here from the looks of it. Well, let's have a look around at least. Yeah, so if I remember correctly, there are several different points on the world map where we find these places. We can't exactly unlock it yet. As you can see, it's kind of blocked off here. I think it's a side quest that happens later on. And we get another skit here. View this as communication.
I never imagined you'd be able to speak with the Entelokea.
Well, I use a Critian technique to do it. Wait, do I detect a little jealousy?
Maybe. Right, Rapide?
Yuri, you want to talk to Rapide?
I think the two of you understand each other well enough already.
I got him pretty well figured out, but I don't know if he understands me.
I think he feels the same way.
Yeah, that is true, even though they've been around together and still don't quite have that exact communication. But yeah, it seems like Rapide and Yuri definitely have that special bond where they don't have to worry about it.